apologies for a complete lack of videos and all sorts recently. It's been a little tough with the whole virus thing going on. So what I thought I would try and do is something that we can all do in our garages, which is clean. So we're going for the beginner's guide to cleaning your bike. Thank you all those people who've subscribed over the last lockdown period. This is isolation cleaning, yeah, I think we've got it down about 1% in terms of subscribers, so down to about 90 or 91%. I'll put a screenshot of where we've got to. But thank you very much indeed, all those who subscribed, and please do subscribe if you haven't. And let's try and keep the numbers ticking up. Next big milestone is 400. So let's see if we can get there soonish. Right, cleaning. Bike cleaning for beginners. Maybe that's what we should call it. Here we go. If you're new to bike cleaning and all the rest of it, this is basically what you need. You don't need all that. The temptation to buy loads of stuff is phenomenal. So the only things you really need are one chain brush. So many different options, but the chain brush absolutely essential. That quite fun, but you don't actually need it. You do need lots of towels and rags, and this, one of these glove cleaning mitts, absolutely essential. Some form of cleaning fluid. This one is S-Doc. You need that one, chain cleaner, and you need that one, chain lubricant. Okay, and these are just the same thing but different types: chain cleaner, chain lube. That for extra polish at the end. That you might want for corrosion. If you've got chrome on your bike like I do, then this is good for putting on these bits at the end in the wheels and things. Also, you need one of these. You need to be able to get the bike off the ground somehow. Okay, first thing you've got to do is preferably find something without nails in, because you don't want to damage your tyres, but you want to stop the front wheel from moving, just in case. Okay, then, and this, depending on how big your bike is quite complicated. If we come in here, and you'll see all the grit and stuff on the wheels. If we come in here, you can see the build. Where's the thing? There we go. The build-up of dirt here on the chain and in there. All the rest of it, pretty disgusting. This is one of the worst places to get to, in here. Okay, and you can see the sort of build-up of gunk down there. In here, there's always some rust to try and deal with, and so you get the picture. It's not actually in the worst possible state, this bike, but you can see here on the rim we've got rust beginning to form, which isn't good, and obviously dirty spokes. Spokes are a total arse to clean, but we'll get onto that in a moment. Obviously down here in the radiator underneath, and all the rest of it. So, and obviously that is obviously, but that is dirt, not special gold flakes. That's just dirt. This is where it gets really quite tricky. If you're not a big person, a little person, this is a little bit more complicated. So obviously when it's on its side stand, you can't get the even if you've got bobbins, you can't get both into it because it's on an angle. So you've got to try and get it straight up and down and then get in underneath. So keep the side stand down as well, just in case you drop it. So try and take the weight off it, off the side stand, get it more or less upright. Okay, and obviously don't go too far, otherwise it will fall over. Try and balance it with your body. Then you just jiggle it a bit into the bobbins there, and then this is the bit that you just hope you've got your chock in. You can come down the back here, okay, hopefully it's still all going to be alright, and you lift this incredibly heavy, this is I don't know, quarter of a ton, I think, about a quarter of a ton, until it's nice and stable. You do not want this falling on you. Okay, replace the chock because obviously it's moved backwards and we don't want any accidents. And now my camera will be pointing in the wrong direction as well. So you can now see that you got the back wheel off the floor. Right, first thing you've got to do before you do any sort of cleaning is put on clothes that you really don't care about. So wellies, trousers. First thing you do, chain cleaner. Such an easy mistake to make, but the last thing you want to do is kind of make it vaguely clean and then realise that you've forgotten the chain. So, so get the plenty of chain cleaner on. Try and get it in the gaps. What you'll find is that every chain has a master link, which is there on mine because it's a different colour. You might be able to see the grey to black. It's a really good indicator. So when you're trying to only do it like once round, you look for the chain link, because otherwise you get lost as to how many times around you've been doing it. Obviously, if you only spray this side, then it's not great, so you want to spray both sides of the chain. And you want to miss the brakes. So lots of nice chain cleaner, and that'll be plenty. And you just let that do its job for a while, basically. Okay, let's spray this puppy down. Let's. Good. Right, and a bottle of that will do quite a few cleans. Save yourself time. This is the moment to get, whilst you wait for that to go, this is the moment to get your chain brush out. This is the worst part of the job. Okay, clean your brush after each use, otherwise you're just putting the same thing on again and it's pointless. This is where you want the gloves, by the way, because this shit gets dirty. Right. This end, just in there, lots of shit, broken, nope. Lots of backwards and forwards. The easiest thing to start with actually is just to get this in here, like that, hold it in position, and then just run the tyre through it, and that works really well as a sort of starting point. And if you clean your chain quite regularly, this is all it's going to require, is going through this. Okay, a bit like that. Perfect. Obviously you want to do both sides of the chain. Remember, it goes round in a circle, so if you only do one side, it'll only clean one side because it rotates round. Good. That's not bad at all. You know it's time for a chain clean if you see these sort of black marks and indeed rust forming on the little eyelets, and that's definitely the time that you want to get your brush out. Another tip, don't do it up here because the chain will drag it into, see, already ripped. The chain will drag your brush into these teeth, and that will, if you get your hand caught or whatever, it'll really hurt. So try not to do that. That's good. Pretty good. If you buy these things that have the double sides, they do kind of snap off occasionally. You just put them back. You'll also notice over time that your chain wears down these teeth into sharp points, and that's the point at which to replace. But when they've still got nice flat heads on the top, that's all good. Flat heads is in the flat top of the teeth. Once they got pointed, you replace. Okay, we've got to the happy stage of cleaning with the thing. If you've got spoked wheels, I'm afraid the best thing is a glove or this weird kind of stick brush which can go through here like that. These, I'm afraid, are the only two things that really are worth your while. The spokes are a total arse. And they are actually the thing, the base of the spokes is the thing that first rusts up. So you agitate the rubbish on your body, apparently. Personally, I don't find it particularly agitating, but you give it a rub, basically, is what they mean, rather than agitate. Right, the camera died. Battery in the other one, so we'll just have to try and get through this quickly. Maybe I should have used my phone from the start, rather than trying to be clever and do it in nice resolution and all the rest of that rubbish. But basically, you finish off agitating. So one of the great things about this stuff that I've just put on is that it will drip dry. It's not perfect, of course. These things never are, but it's pretty good. And then it's just a question of having a look at the wheels and stuff. So we're going to come back in about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and once it's had a bit of a dry off, because I need, well, not 10-15 minutes actually, because I need to go back to work. But later on we're going to come back and we'll do the wheels, not with ACF 50, which is brilliant stuff, but with something much the same really. So you can already see, I mean, comparatively, what the wheels are like compared to what they were. So it's a start. It's definitely a start. Lube everywhere. Didn't turn off. Right, final thing then is corrosion protectant. You could use ACF 50 for this, which is really good. Basically, you just want to spray a little bit on the chrome, and then not too much, because otherwise it gets a bit sort of runny, and then just wipe it in. It's very easy, just sort of smooth it in. I'm not pressing at all, I'm just sort of wiping it so it's smooth, because it will dry as a kind of sheen, and you want to sort of wipe it before it dries completely. You can also do it on the pipes, so you can do it on here. Again, wipe it sort of in, and don't worry if when you start the engine next time that they smoke a bit. That's fine, that's not a problem. It's just the excess kind of burning off when the pipes get hot. And so this is what you end with. Really, really sparkly, shining, absolutely clean wheels, which have been protected as well. And I'll hopefully be able to do a sort of before and after job here to show you how different a little bit of a clean and a little bit of TLC. And so that's it. That's you know, nice and shiny. It's all looking pretty good. Green chain, sparkly wheels, all looking pretty good. And so yeah, that's it. Cleaning 101, nailed it. See you another time.